I saw the tweet. You saw the tweet. So let's dream a little bit, shall we? Yesterday, Logan Reaver tweeting out this quote from Davante Adams, saying, Davante Adams calls Lamar Jackson the best ball carrier ever, says he watched a ton of Jackson film to get better at breaking tackles, and that he changed the game. We'll give you the full quote in a little bit. We'll talk trade possibilities. We'll talk what a trade might look like, and ultimately whether I think it might happen. Welcome into Ravens Rundown. I'm your host, Joey Peterson. So happy that you're joining us. So, we're talking about a Raider, but we're also trying to beat the Raiders with this video, because on today's video for the Raiders Report, they got 25 subs. Can we beat them? We're going to beat them on Sunday. Let's go ahead and just beat them on Thursday as well. What do you guys say? Go down there, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Come join the over 18,000 members of the flock we got rocking with us on Ravens Rundown. So let's get into the question of the day. Does Davante Adams want to team up with Lamar Jackson? Because it kind of sounds like it. He talked to the media in Las Vegas just the other day, had some really glowing things to say about the quarterback. But before we get into the quote and before we get into any trade scenarios, I want to hear from you guys, okay? Let me know down there in the comment section, would you trade for Davante Adams? If you want to, go ahead and type Y down there for me. If not, go ahead and type no. Love getting this back and forth with you guys. Let's get into what Davante Adams said about our QB1. He said, I was literally finding myself watching Lamar Jackson highlights in my locker before the games. Dude changed the game. He's the best ball carrier ever, no matter what position. I don't think anybody's as big of a threat to carry the football. He's a hell of a football player. And let me set the record straight real quick, because this isn't just me pulling this out of thin air, right? I'm not just saying and talking about this to try to get likes or clicks or whatever it is, because it has been very apparent that Davante Adams has been frustrated with his time in Las Vegas. I don't know if you guys tuned in to the receiver documentary, but he was basically livid all season long. These are a couple of screenshots from just a couple of the episodes. This is right after he throws down his helmet. This is him talking about how upset he is, how frustrated he is with the quarterback play. And honestly, guys, I don't blame him. Here's just a couple of quotes. Just a couple of things he said. If I included everything he said in that documentary that was bad about playing for the Raiders or about how he hated his situation, this video would be probably, 30 minutes long? So I'm just going to put 2 quick sentences in there. This is effing pathetic, bro. Just throw the effing ball. Talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. I got to get the F out of here before I lose my effing life. All of those during the 2023 season. And I don't blame him. If I had the quarterbacks that he had in my career, I'd probably be saying the same thing. Now, I don't mean career. I mean in Las Vegas. Obviously, he played with a Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers. But it's been tough sledding for Davante ever since he's gone to Las Vegas. He's had to deal with the likes of Jimmy Garoppolo. And although he's handsome, not a good quarterback. Brian Hoyer, not handsome, not a good quarterback. Aiden O'Connell, kind of same thing as Brian Hoyer, and then Gardner Minshew, he's having to deal with him this season. So he hasn't had the greatest talent surrounding him. And if you're an all-pro wide receiver that's destined for the Hall of Fame, like Davante Adams is, it has to eat away at you. Not only knowing that you're not playing for a good quarterback, but from going from what some people call the most talented quarterback ever in Aaron Rodgers to playing for these 4 schmucks, gosh, that's got to be brutal. And I don't see how he can't want to get out of that situation. And I know what he says. And I know what the quotes say of, if I didn't want to be here right now, I wouldn't be right here. And I'm happy in Las Vegas. But how many times have you heard that before guys got traded? Every single scenario. Every single time. He's not happy there. And I think it's time that Baltimore swoops in and does something about it. Now, before we go on with the rest of our video and talk about the legit trade opportunities, I gotta give a shout out to today's sponsor, and that, of course, is GameTime. GameTime is the place to go for the best seats at the lowest prices guaranteed. And if you're so excited that the season is finally here again, and you want to get tickets to the big game lockdown, you're going to want to give GameTime a shot. GameTime is the only place I go when I'm trying to get my tickets to any college football or NFL game. GameTime has a new feature called GameTime Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. GameTime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, which are the highest value seats at the time. For some events, GameTime Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. Guys, I'm a proud alum of the University of Tennessee. And you know, here in Chat Sports, we're based out of Dallas, Texas, and my volunteers are coming to Norman to play the Oklahoma Sooners in just 10 days. I'm going with all my buddies, and I got my tickets using GameTime. It's going to be a smackdown, and I'm going to be there because of GameTime. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with the GameTime app. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download GameTime today. What time is it? Game time. And the thing about Davante is he's still an elite talent and at the absolute top of the NFL. And I know you can look at his stats last year and be like, okay, he barely got over 1,000. You got to think of the guys that were throwing in the football. And we already went over those. But just look at him in the years before that. 1,500 yards, 1,500 yards, 1,200 yards, 18 touchdowns, 11 touchdowns, 14 touchdowns. This guy is an absolute machine. And I love Zay Flowers, but there's no doubt in my mind Davante Adams steps into M&T Bank Stadium. He's wide receiver 1 for this Baltimore Ravens team. And I really don't think it would cost you like a crazy amount. He's 31. He's getting a little bit older in age, right? He's getting up there. I truly believe it'd be a second-round pick in Rashad Bateman. And maybe not even that, right? When you look at what the Raiders traded Green Bay for him, they traded a first-round and a second-round pick. And that's a lot. But that was 2 years ago. He's only gotten older since then. He's only gotten hit a lot more times, hence why he was so mad in those quotes I read earlier. And so he's just a different receiver when it comes to age-wise. But talent-wise, I think he's the exact same. So you're looking at about a second-round pick in Rashad Bateman. Would you guys accept this trade? Type A for accept, type D for decline, and let me know down there in the comments section. Now, does the money make sense? That's the next question. And this is the whole kind of kicker of the situation. Because I think it can make sense to bring him in here. A lot would have to change with the current money situation. Ravens are sitting at $4.5 million in cap space. Better than a few weeks ago. Still not a lot. About third or fourth least in the NFL. Now, they would need $16.5 million if they wanted to trade for Davante Adams. Now, getting rid of Rashad Bateman would clear up about $3 million, $3.5 million in cap space. So then you'd only need what, like $8.5 million to clear up? I know that sounds like a lot, but you saw all the money maneuvers that Eric DeCosta and John Harbaugh made when they needed to get under the cap. You just restructure a couple of contracts, boom, you're there. I know that sounds like, I don't know, that's probably not the analysis that you were looking for, but guys, sometimes it's just that easy. Teams do it all the time, every single day in the entire offseason. Restructuring contracts is not a very hard thing to do. You can make money more backloaded. You can switch things around and it frees up a lot of cap space. It's a lot to do, but I think it's possible. Now, what do I think is going to happen? I don't think they're going to do it. I just don't. I think, like I've been saying since August when we've been talking about offensive lineman signings or other trades or signing Hassan Reddick or things of that nature, I've always said I think the Ravens are satisfied with where they're at and are just ready, hey, let's run it back, right? Let's get another stab at the Super Bowl this season. We're happy with our squad. Let's go compete. And I think they still feel that same way. So no, I don't think it's going to happen. Now, would I do it? Yes, I would. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I've said since the day I got on this channel, I'm not in love with the wide receiver room. I don't hate it. I think Zay Flowers is awesome. I think Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, they're fine. I think you got the best tight end room in the NFL, but you can use a game-changing wide receiver. Imagine Davante Adams in this offense. Could you imagine an offense with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Davante Adams, and also Zay Flowers, and also Isaiah Likely, right? I mean, That would be unreal. So I would do it. Now, do I think it's going to happen? No. Would be pretty freaking sweet, though. What about you guys? What do you think? How likely is this to happen? Go ahead and scale it 1 to 10 for me down in the comments. Give it a 10 if you're like, oh, it's happening 100%. Give me a 1 if you think no chance at all. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We want you to join the family, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.